So readers, we're going to set up for reading workshop today. So when I give a silent finger to your table, you will start setting up for reading workshop. As you see on the screen, when you come, I'd like you to bring your math notebook, which you have. That will be your clipboard for today. A pen, which you also have. When you're on the rug and waiting, make sure to look around and check what's new. If you forget, what can we do? We can look at the screen. We can ask a friend, or we can look around. Okay, I'm going to point to a table. Turn your chairs back to back and set up for reading workshop, then come to the rug. Readers and read aloud. Remember we read this amazing book, thank you, Mr. Fokker. But something we also realized that throughout the book, in the beginning, middle, and end, we came across so many tricky phrases, and we really stopped and used our brains and stretched them a little to think, what could the author really be trying to tell us? Because they sounded a little tricky. They didn't really make sense. It just sounded a little funny, so we really took the time to stop. And so what I want us to do, these actually come off, is let's just read a few of these phrases together before we start our lesson. Remember yesterday we practiced saying them in a smooth voice? So let's read this one together really quickly. Actually, does anyone think they could read it by themselves in a smooth voice, how we really scooped up line by line? Monica, you want to try it? Okay, I'll do my invisible spoon pointer, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Honey is sweet, and so is knowledge. But knowledge is like the bee that made the honey. It has to be chased through the pages of the book.
Oh, that was beautiful, Monica. Do you guys see how she's really been practicing scooping up each line and saying it smooth like a talking voice? So that was one of the tricky phrases we came across, and we said, oh, this doesn't really mean that you chase knowledge like you're chasing it, like running inside the book. It just means that to get knowledge, we need to read books. And we said, well, this is so important because we knew that Trisha's family loved reading, and Trisha was so excited to read. Do you remember that? Thumbs up if you remember that. Okay, so what I realized is I was thinking last night, and I was reading a bunch of books, and even I was rereading Dancing in the Wings. I realized tricky phrases come up all the time in our books. And we're really good at figuring out the tricky words yesterday, and so I thought, oh, maybe we could use a little challenge today. We had a little practice in Mr. Fokker, but today I want to teach you that readers always stop at tricky phrases and try their best to understand them. They don't just move on, because you know what? Those tricky phrases, I think the authors put them there to make us pay attention to something important that's going on in the story. Mr. Fokker, so I'd like us to actually figure this tricky phrase out together, because I feel like the author didn't just put it there by accident or just to trick us. They put it there because it was really important to the story. As I read, put a thumbs up when you think we should stop. Be like, how about, no, not a thumbs up. Go like this. Everyone practice that. Stop. Give me a stop sign when we think we need to stop and figure this out. What is the author really trying to tell us? Because it doesn't make too much sense. So we're going to stop and figure it out and stretch your brains a little. You ready? Ready? This is when she is with Uncle Red. Sassy, he said, you gotta look at that as a gift. Being tall means you can see all around, so you always find the right path to take. No, I said, it means I stick out like a big acne bump on someone's nose. I'll never get to dance. It's a waste of time to go to the audition. Listen, gal, said Uncle Red, if I was tall and pretty as you, I wouldn't need to wear red so people know it's me coming and going. All you gotta do is make your mark on the world, is walk into a room. I see some people went like this, the stop sign. Do you guys think that's a tricky phrase? Chrissy, why do you think that's a tricky phrase? Why doesn't it make sense to you?
Because, some people don't know, what make your mark on the world means, so.
Yeah, what is the author really trying to tell us? I want you to think a little bit right now. And then I want you to actually stop and jot. What's going on? Well, so far, what's going on in the story? Do you remember she just came back from the dance recital, right? And then the girls were teasing her. And then Uncle Red was in the car with her, and I'm thinking, he's saying this to her, so it must be important. What is it? What is the author trying to tell us? I want you to jot down what you think on the Post-it 1 right now. And after you had a little time to jot, we'll turn and talk quickly about it. So jot first. What could it mean? Here's what you could write. You could write, this phrase could mean. What could it mean? Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. So what do you think that could mean? Because she just came back, right? Mm-hmm. She just came back and she ran away from the room because what just happened?
I think what happened is that when she's like upset that he thinks she agreed with them.
With the girls that were teasing her?
Because he's too tall.
So that's what you think Uncle Red is saying? Like giving her, do you think that's what the phrase means? Uncle Red's telling
Like
her
if
to do
he's
something
tall,
else?
And she could maybe do something that's her.
I know that I was a little bit stuck on this one, so maybe we should like turn and talk a little. So when you go back to your seats today, I want you to continue to look for tricky phrases in your books. Believe it or not, they're all over your books. I checked. Are you really ready to stop at them? Because yesterday you were good at stopping at tricky words, but today I want you to also stop at tricky phrases and ask yourself, what's going on in the story? What is the author really trying to tell me? And if you come to a place like that, I'm going to keep this post-it right up here. You could write, look for tricky phrases. This phrase could mean, I want to challenge you to try and fill up this post-it box too with a tricky phrase you find today.